Well, I've been gone for a bit. Things have changed, and the quest has gone on as I attempt to settle. And I may have settled. Hello, YouTube and Rumble. How goes it? I've been gone for a bit. My radio career has changed somewhat. I have joined a big local radio station. So now instead of 2 radio shows, now I have 3. So that's been taking up a little bit of time. And along the way, I have accumulated a few things. And this has all been in a quest. Now, I have some very nice pistols. And I have some very nice pistols coming in. And as far as an everyday carry gun, I had decided that I wanted to carry something that was a little more conventional, a little more out of the box, right? Now, guns like this, like the Tunein Tactical Innovations Copperhead, this is a beautiful pistol and everything, but this is an investment, right? This is something that you carry possibly on certain occasions. I don't know if it's an everyday carry gun, although it certainly would work. But if you get out there and you actually have to use it in self-defense, it's probably going to end up in some police locker room. So, to that end, I had migrated to the P320, except now with the P320, let's just say I'm gun shy with that, because the FCUs, right? I became aware of some stuff with the FCUs, so the strength of the gun became the weakness. So I wanted something a little more conventional. And then I thought back to a time when I had reviewed 2 different guns on the same day as one gun. I made a big mistake that day. I made a bad call, a really bad call that day. Now see, this is the point where everybody's watching in this video where they're saying, what would that bad call be? Well, that's not the important part. The important part is the criteria of that bad call. And that was really dumb. It was dumb. It was dumb of me to do this, because I took out 3 guns at one time. 3 guns at one time. And I made a decision based upon that one day. The 3 guns that I took out were the Walther PDP full-size pistol, a FN 509 compact, and a Chambers custom pistol that was part of the Knight's armament package. And I think the pistol itself was like a $10,000 gun, and it shot like a $10,000 gun. All the attributes that you would expect out of a $10,000 gun were present. The only problem was that when you're shooting a $10,000 gun, you're shooting one and it's comped and it's been massaged for 100 hours. Then when you go to an out-of-the-box gun, when you go to the Walther PDP, or if you go to the FN 509, they just feel like garbage. And that's where the mistake comes, because you get out there and you make that snap judgment, or at least I did. So, the Walther PDP shot beautifully. The FN 509 shot beautifully. I think FN is sort of a diamond in the rough. It's a very utilitarian pistol. It just feels good in your hands. However, the ergos on the Walther PDP cannot be beaten. And so I told myself, I need to give these guys a second look. And to that end, I have. Now, I could not get, in all candor, I made a request and Walther sent me this. And this is the Walther PDP 4-inch. I did put a TLR 8 on it, and I did put the Holosun EPS carry on it. I had a bunch of TLR 7s. I do not like the flashlight to go too far out beyond the barrel if I can help it. And also, along the way, because I'm going to test it and go through it as well, I got the full-sized FN 509, but that's not what we're here talking about. This will be a gun for another day, and we'll give it much more attention. This gun is crazy good as far as the ergos, and that's where it decides it for me. That's where everything comes up. You have so right off the bat, you have the performance duty trigger, whatever that means. What I like about this trigger is, like the Timney trigger on the copperheads of Tunein Tactical Innovations, the trigger springs back forward. So there's constant pressure on that. It's not just a dead trigger. So if you're going to shoot with a reset, you have that constant pushing out, and it's a much smoother transition for me. You have these things they call the super terrain serrations, and these are gigantic. I mean, you could basically rack this on on the side of a wall or something if it came down to it. I don't know where they got the super terrain part of it from, but it's a very good description of it. And if you're a press checker, well, that makes it easier. Right here is where Walther leaves everybody behind. The performance duty texture, the slight rise here for your fingers to fit around and everything else. The grip itself is, for me, otherworldly as far as the ergonomics. This is where this is the best grip out of the box I've ever seen in my life. Now right here you have what they call the red dot ergonomics. And that's important because with the red dot gun, when you are pressing out, normally where if you're looking for sights, you're going to be looking right about there. For a red dot, you actually need to sort of have it to where the dot's going to come out. The pressure pushing on your hand right here from this rise, the red dot ergonomic rise, supposedly that is there to assist you in acquiring that dot. So far as I can tell, because I haven't shot this one, I think that's going to work. This gun came red dot ready, and this is where there's two things about this gun that still sort of irritate me a little bit. It came red dot ready, did not come with any plates. I made a mistake when I had this dot laying around here and I was just going to put this on it. I ended up having to get a plate from C&H Precision that was the right plate. The plate that I asked for from Walther was not the right plate. So that was my mistake. I get why they don't include the plates. I just, the amount of time you got to wait in between when you make the request for the plate when it finally gets to you means you're sort of, you're not dialed in as far as you want to go. I haven't tried this with one of these guns yet, but supposedly this gun is nearly as modular as the P320 series, with the exception that the FCU is not actually a thing on this gun, but supposedly the slides and the frames are interchangeable. I've never tried that. I don't like mixing and matching my parts with my guns. Apart from the other things, where the mag release is, I like that. The way it's set up, this little lip that's in front of it, I like that. The fact that it is swappable works for me much better. The dual-sided lock, the ambidextrous slide lock, is gigantic. It's big. It's easy to find. It's just easy to work with. I can't rant enough about the ergonomics on this gun. So this gun is set up to be my carry gun. Okay, this has the 15-round grip, I guess you would say. So it's sort of in the Glock 19 sort of family, if you want to think about it that way. This is going to go out to the range and we're going to try it. And normally I don't like to give advice on guns. Whenever I'm doing something about a gun or I'm talking about a gun on here, this is my opinion. And that's all I want to give you is my opinion. And my opinion pertains primarily and only to me. But if I were to give you some advice, what I would say is if you take the time to get a gun, give it enough time to try to run it and see if it's going to be worth it. I got rid of 2 superb pistols because they did not measure up to a $10,000 handgun. And that's my mistake. That's my mistake. So, thankfully, because this is America, damn it, I was able to get, go back around and get me a couple, replace them and go with that, and that's good to go. So anyway, the next thing up, of course, we're going to talk about the FN 509, and I've got one thing that's coming up. We're going to start talking about primary arms. If you like talk radio, there's 3 ways to get the stuff that I do now. There is Lock and Load with Bill Frady, Gun Owners Gun Owners News Hour with Bill Frady, and now at 98.9 WORD, Straight Talk with Bill Frady. So there's 3 different ways to get the show. If you'd like to give any of them a try, I would be honored to know that you were giving the radio show a try. So, as for the rest of it, now that I've got a few things out of the way, I hope to be a little more prolific. And by the way, I am out of here.